good evening, wherever you may hail from. It is Racquet. We need a rally with each other, Bobby. Come on, come on.
A
Let's
racket.
Yeah, come on. We need a rally.
Oh yeah, we did
Yeah,
that last time. Oh
exactly,
yeah, we
exactly.
did.
There
Oh
we go.
yeah, we were doing this before.
We
The rally with
The
racket.
rally with Racquet. Yeah, that's the big RWR right in the middle of there. The people had some ideas as to what the RWR would stand for. It's like retire with Racquet.
Oh
It's
God.
which
Were
it,
they
it could
like
very well
mean?
do fine.
Were people trying to have a stab at you not casting as much? Is that what it was for? Or like not
Yeah,
shooting?
it's like the
Is that
retirement home for me.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
I
they're
got
sending
given
me
that
off to.
shit. I got given that shit so much when I
Oh
stopped.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh fucking hell.
Anyway, yeah, I'm joined here with of course the Bobby J. As you can see, is his Twitter handle. He's given you I don't know what that was, some sort of cigar.
Walrus tusk. Wait, no, walrus tusks are that way, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they get
What?
upwards into their
Who,
nose.
who has tusks there? Does anyone have like tusks at the bottom? Any animal?
Elephants.
No, those are from like the front, like where the trunk
Um,
is.
I don't know, maybe some
Oh, wait, a saber tooth like
saber
tiger,
tooth.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
that
I'm
could
doing
work.
this is the saber tooth, dude. You remember how like Leafy would like cover up his chin? Like mine's the saber tooth, bro. I'm saying like V for victory.
Hmm?
And then you're doing the saber tooth on the nose.
There you go.
There you
We can
go.
trademark
I don't
that
know where
later.
that comes from. Yeah.
The
I thought I
signature
should
Bobby
start.
J
I,
saber
wa- I,
tooth.
wa- I wanted your first episode with your first guest to start with his fingers up his nose.
Look, that's the best way you can possibly start up an episode. No, I'm not sure if anyone else can top that now. You've set the standard.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. The bar is too high for the rest of you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I did want you as my very first person on this podcast. Like I did have a few ideas of people who I wanted in mind, but I had to have Bobby J on the podcast because
Are you gonna leak them?
no, I'm not gonna leak them. It's a surprise. It's a tease. I I can insert the
You
idea
get
into
that?
people's heads, but they can't
Any
know yet.
initials? Initials?
Um, SC, and that doesn't stand for Snapchat. I'm not interviewing Snapchat.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, but Bobby J knows.
I know who SC is.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Oh my god, you got Stone Cold
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
What
he's
the
gonna be
fuck,
fantastic
dude?
to have on.
I can't believe. How'd you get him?
Well, we're both bold, so we just sort of have that connection. We
Hmm.
you don't know this because you haven't fully gone yet, Bobby. But
Yeah,
us
it's getting
bold
there.
people, we have a sort of database that we connect to, and if you don't have
Oh.
any hair, we can like telepath sort of type
Oh,
shit.
that's how telepathy works. So once you, because your hair blocks the signal, so once the hair's gone, we can connect. I
Yeah,
understand now,
that's the secret, to be honest. Yeah,
dude.
we were meant to reveal that.
Yeah. It's just brawn shavers sending you adverts.
Yeah, yeah. It's a dark
Have you
time.
ever
But
watched the brawn shavers with Michael Klim?
no, I haven't.
You remember those? No.
Remember
Maybe you
those?
should. Maybe you can go for that. Maybe like that's a good idea to get like shavers to like sponsor you. I know like Gillette is with like Doctor Disrespect, but like Braun or something like that. Is it? What Australian shaving brands are there?
Um, I don't know really. Actually, I've only used Gillette my whole life, and like those cheap ones that you get and you use them once.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
fuck using the cheap ones, dude.
funny
They just
story,
yank
dude.
it, dude.
Funny
They don't
story.
slice at all. They just yank that
At
shit out.
at fucking high school, right? Since it
Mhm.
was a private school.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
you already know the story is
Yeah.
spicy. So
Okay.
basically, you couldn't have any facial hair whatsoever, and like,
Really?
yeah, I was starting to
As
grow
a school?
out of school, yeah, and I started to grow facial hair when I was in like fucking year two. So I started shaving. No wonder why my facial hair grows like within 2 days. But anyway,
In year two?
oh, year four to be exact. I started shaving in
Year
year
four?
four.
Wait, how
So
old were you
so
in
that
year
would have
four?
been at about 10.
Wait, you started shaving at 10?
Yeah, there we go.
So what are you going bald now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
10? I don't think I had to start shaving until I was like 15. Maybe
Okay.
about 15.
5 year difference. It's
But
not
then-
not too bad.
But then maybe 15, 16. But once I hit like 17, 18, I could just start growing a beard like at 19. It
Hmm.
was weird. I could just, it just, was there. Like everybody else still had like the fluff there at that age,
Yeah,
whereas mine was just getting a beard. And
that's
then
a good
I just
feeling.
it became so hairy, dude. It just kept hair grew everywhere. Dude. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
except for
surprised
the
it doesn't grow
fucking
from
head.
yeah. I'm surprised it doesn't fucking grow from the palms of my hand, dude.
So anyway, right? I end up rocking up to this day because I
Mm.
was away from school for a week because I was sick, and then I came back and then I went into homeroom and I'm like, fuck, I haven't shaved. So
Yeah.
that so out of all days, the principal walks in at the homeroom and he's like, mate, you're coming with me, and what he does is he
He
gives me.
grabbed you by the beard.
Yeah, he's like he gives me one like a fucking razor, like it's some plastic shit, and he doesn't even give me any shaving cream. He sends me to the toilets and he's like, sort it out, and I'm like, okay, so.
Yeah,
So,
actually, that's the razor he uses to shave his fucking pubes off.
probably I saw a little bit of excess hair on there. I
And
was
then,
wondering what that was.
oh, it was like all curly as well, or whatever.
I didn't focus too much on that. So
All
I was in the
black
toilets,
curly
right?
hairs.
And
Yeah.
and it took me like a fucking hour to do this. So I ended up missing like a fucking period. And I was shaving. The whole bathroom was basically full of blood. You know where
This
they
doesn't sound legal.
it
This
doesn't.
doesn't sound legal
So,
at all.
so
I don't.
you know the taps where you wash your hands and like
Yeah.
obviously you have the place where all the water goes down. All of that was filled with blood, and people walking into the toilets, the fucking taking pictures of me and putting me in Snapchat like, oh, he's dying, he's dying. Like, that day was fucking awful, dude, because you see this baby face walking out from the bathroom, blood pouring down his face. He's like, oh, you got into trouble. Like, fuck, dude, this is awful.
Dude, that doesn't sound legal.
Oh, it doesn't, mate.
It doesn't sound legal.
It was awful. It was torture.
Like nowadays, you could, well, even then, you could have just put that on social media. Hey, my principal tried to make me shave at school, and without any shaving cream, gave me a razor.
I don't even know what the point of that was. Like, for
I would have just gone home.
it
I would have
was a
said,
private
"Nah."
school. I don't know why you'd have to sort out face that, like, to make people look
I don't-
clean. That's the
I
only
don't-
reason.
I don't
No.
understand. Like, I maybe understand maybe looking neater or whatever, but giving a fucking kid a razor and saying, "Here," like you're almost giving them a weapon at that point. Like,
There's no stopping me going to
Yeah.
other kids and going like this with it.
yeah. Oh, what the guy? That principal's a moron, dude. I guarantee he's just some piece of shit that's just he had a hard time at school and he's just taking it out on
Yeah.
everybody, dude.
He's just built to destroy
definitely
people
taken
now.
pube something. He's like, oh, I'm gonna make these kids put my pube razor all over their face. So you got all these fucking ball sweat all over your face, dude. That's where the extra stinging comes from, because like his ball sweat's going into your
Oh,
wounds.
for fuck's
I
sake.
Look, we had a magnificent start to this podcast.
Yeah, talking about ball sweat onto my face. Yeah, gee.
Yeah,
You've...
yeah, yeah. You're the one who did it, mate. Like you're the one telling the story. And like if a middle-aged man told me, if I was at school, a middle-aged man told me, "Here, shave your face," I'm like, "Hey, go fuck yourself." Like I would just go home. I remember at high school. This is how backwards my fucking high school was, dude. It's been a while now that since I've graduated, because I'm old as fuck now. But because I grew up in the country, so everyone was backwards as shit. And I went to a public school. So I'm pretty sure this is illegal. This is fucking illegal. At a public school, a public high school, they were making us go to scripture, which is going to to church or whatever, to like listen to fucking Bible stories or whatever the fuck that they preach. Anyway, so it would have been a Catholic church, and this was like once a semester, I think, that my public school was doing scripture. Now, to not go, you had to get a permission slip to give to your school to not take you out of the school grounds, which was walking along several streets, which is like a 15-20 minute walk to the church. Okay? So you had to give a permission slip not to be taken 20 minutes to a church, which you could have been another religion. You could have not believed in anything. And like, I didn't believe in anything. Like I've been atheist or what? I've been an atheist for like however long. I don't know, but I didn't believe in that shit. And I was like, okay, so I have to go. Like, I need a permission slip not to go. And I said, like, no, I'm not doing that. And they said, well, you can go to detention then. I'm like, well, I'm not going to detention. You can't really put me in detention because I don't give you a permission slip not to go. That's how backwards like the country is. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to go home. Like, I'll just go home and play video games. Like, it's no deal to me. Whatever.
It's your loss.
Left and like they called like my mom or whatever, and like yeah, she just yelled at him on the phone. It was like, you tried to make my son do what? Like they try to say like, oh, this is what he did. And he goes, yeah, he did the right thing. Like, because what happens if your parents don't know that your kids are getting taken out of the school? What happens if a kid gets hit by a car or anything? Because you're crossing the road doing all sorts of shit. Parents need to have like your kids' permission. Kids need parents' permission to be taken out of the school. I'm pretty sure that's fucking law. Yeah. So how fucking stupid is that? That is. Oh man, it made me so like angry. But they never bothered me again for like ever since I was there. Because I think it was like year 7 or year 8. But I think it might have been year 8. So they never questioned me again because they knew they had to deal with my mum on the phone.
Yeah, your mum just fucking roasted them.
Yeah, well, because my mum works in law, so
right.
All mum's side of the family law and
so they weren't ever going to win that battle.
Yeah, like they were known for running like the main law firm in the area. So, like whenever like
why do I imagine your mother being like a sheriff?
Yeah, sure, dude. Like no one like messes with it. It's just like but that's the problem. That's when I became like such a bitch for a while because like my mom can just fight all my battles. She understands everything. I was like I'm such a smart ass because I would just be a smart ass all the time, and I just know my mum was going to bail me out of whatever situation I get myself into. So, yeah. Anyway, that was the story about them trying to make me leave the school grounds.
Very good. Now we've had one high school story apiece.
It's good times. All right, now we should get into talking about games. We just talked about you, ball sweat, and principal raises. Maybe my fingers up my nose. Been trying to force me to go to church. What a great start to two guys who are involved in the gaming industry to start the podcast. So it's got nothing to do with video games. So great start.
Look, it couldn't have started any better, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, both of us, by the way, have been absolutely spamming Apex Legends.
I think
man,
the next
that game.
thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be the next big thing. I remember actually, for reference, I did call this, Bobby, when Fortnite first came out. You're like, this is only going to happen for a month. I call you out on this all the time. And then you're like, no, mate, Fortnite's going to be the next big thing.
Because I thought it was shit.
Hey, like, I think it was shit too. But, dude, Fortnite went ham. Like, within a month of releasing the fucking Battle Royale, they're like, we're going to release this shit on all platforms. And like, cross-platform everything. Like, they went pretty fucking because apparently Apex Legends is going to do that now too. They're planning on adding like a ranked mode next patch too, which would be pretty cool.
But, snap! Already, dude.
Already.
We're there.
Yeah, dude, it's a fucking great game.
Because we won like a whole bunch today. So
yeah,
I like the game. Actually, like right now, I'm just thinking about playing it. There's something about it. I don't know what they've got. Like I don't mind. Like I've never really been a fan of the battle royales, not because of like the mode battle royale itself, but it's more of just I don't really like the feel of it. I don't like the clunkiness of PUBG where it feels too realistic. Like I don't play games for it to be realistic. If I want to play a fucking shooter simulator, shooting simulation, I'll play it. The closest thing I'll play is Counter-Strike because like I've grown up with that game.
Yeah.
But I don't want to feel like clunky out in a big wide open map. Like, when I start panicking and someone's shooting at me, I want to be able to run fucking fast! I want to run fast! I don't want to be fucking stuck. I don't want to be like, oh, no, and then, like, you panic and then you get, like, it's real shitty shots. Like, cool, if you're into that stuff, you're into that stuff. But for me, I hate that shit. So I tried Fortnite. I've tried it numerous times to get back into it. But it's just, I hate building, dude. Like,
I hate it too.
I hate it so much. Because, like, I come from, like, a shooting background. So I'm getting these shots off or whatever, and I just have some fucking 12-year-old just build over the top of me. And just spam it. And just spam shit over me. I'm like, well,
he misses all of his shots, but you can't hit him either.
Yeah, what's the fucking point of like? It just makes me angry. Like, it's cool, like a cool aspect to it, I guess, like the building or whatever. But it just takes away the skill of shooting and makes it just so cheesy.
Yeah, it feels
Just
gimmicky.
cheesy. It just yeah, exactly. It feels too gimmicky. And for someone who I've grown up watching Counter Strike as an esport, and I still watch it to this day, when I watch fucking Fortnite, I'm like, this is fucking shit. This is worst shit. What
Yep.
the fuck is going on? All these people, just shit's going everywhere, and the commentators are like, these guys are in the building, and like they're just hyping it all up. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just
Yeah,
noise to me. It's
garbage.
just noise. It's just crap. Maybe it's because I'm old now and I just can't follow that shit. But like, I love watching Overwatch. Like, there's
Hmm.
plenty of crazy shit. Like, obviously, I was into watching Overwatch because I fucking spent so much time in that game. But there's a lot of shit that happens there. But it's just Fortnite. It just seems like a mess. And I feel like Apex has this because like Fortnite was good, like movement wise. It wasn't slow paced. It was quite everything was good about it except like the building and I guess
Yeah.
like some of the tackiness to it. There's some of like I gotta say they were appealing to children, but yeah, with Apex, I feel like they've just um they've they've obviously probably played all the battle royales that are out. They've taken the best aspects from all of it and just listened to like people online what they want from a battle royale, and they've started it with like 3 people. It feels really good, and they just didn't overcrowd it. It's 60 people, and it doesn't feel overcrowded when you're playing. So when you're dropping, there's only maybe 2 other teams with you, so you feel like you've got a chance every time you play. And all the fucking guns feel pretty fucking good. Like there's a couple of shit ones like the Mozambique or whatever, the Mozambique I like to call it. There's a couple of shitters, but you need some shit
Yeah,
guns in there
you need shit
for a
guns.
meme,
Yeah,
for a good laugh. But like it feels good, like and all the color schemes to like the to each gun, each
that's fucking awesome. Yeah,
yeah, everything is
it
so
makes it
easy to
so easy to
understand.
understand. Yeah.
Like I picked it up so quick, and like I don't know, everything just feels good, and I like there's different classes, so that kind of brings in the Overwatch aspect to it. They've just taken good things out of different games, and I think my brother said it was the original Infinity Ward crew that worked on this game.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who made like Titanfall and all that. So the people who did Modern Warfare 4.
Which is
Well,
why
Modern Warfare,
the
Call of Duty 4,
Call
Modern
of Duty
Warfare.
4, yeah.
Sorry.
Which is why the
So
gunplay feels so good.
yeah, oh, it's just so smooth. It's just a smooth, refined game, and for a game that's just come out as beta or whatever, early access, whatever the fuck it is, not even the full game yet, it feels fucking awesome. Like it's one of the best like beta releases I've ever played.
Oh yeah, like compare that to fucking PUBG, dude. Like holy shit,
Like
man, it is head
yeah,
and shoulders above.
yeah. Well, I think the problem is with PUBG, with Blue Hole, all the games that they've made in the past were all mobile games.
Hmm.
So obviously, like they were the first. Blue Hole took the risk of like, no one wanted to really pick up this battle royale thing at the start. Someone had to like make the first domino fall, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone saw the success of it because the thing is to invest so much money in a free to play game, especially to go on Steam. There's going to be a lot of money to develop that shit. So they're the first ones that just threw their hand in it.
Hmm.
They're like, yeah, we'll do it, and obviously they made a lot of money. So even if PUBG fucking dies, they've still made fucking shit ton, and they can move on to something else. But yeah, I feel like because of their lack of experience making PC games, that's kind of made them kind of plateau and not really move forward with the game. So having this crazy player base, obviously, like other devs who had a lot of experience are going to catch up.
Yeah.
They can just see, okay, that's what works, that what doesn't work, and we can just make the game so much better.
That's the problem with being first, right? That
Mm-hmm.
sort of sucks. And like most recently as well, as you said, games feel a lot more smoother, and people want to be running around doing fast, intense shit rather than having like this slow game like PUBG.
Mm-hmm.
Like PUBG has its place, like no doubt, sure. But after play, like I could play PUBG right now and play Apex Legends. If I were playing PUBG right now personally, it would feel like I'm restricted. It'd feel like sort of
Mm-hmm.
if I'm in a tunnel and I'm suffocating and I'm claustrophobic. That's what it feels like to me after playing Apex Legends. Like even when I play
Feels
other fucking games, dude, the movement, everything
feels
just feels so much
like
smoother.
feels like you're running through water.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it feels like you're running through water. Everything's slowed down. Everything's clunky. Just they've had the time to optimize. It's not optimized. It's not up to standard where all the other battle royales are now. They've
Mm.
fallen behind. And people are going to move on. People have short attention spans. People want to play whatever their friends are playing. And like Twitch has a big impact on the battle royale scene
It
because
does,
that's
yeah.
they're the most played games on the platform. And I've tried for the longest time not to stream any battle royales, but I went in and out of Fortnite here and there, but I really enjoy playing Apex. It's fucking good. It's really fun, and I think it's going to be the game that's going to stick around for a while.
Hopefully, yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't
Hmm.
see why it wouldn't. Like, what else could kill its player
They'd
base? I
have to
can't think of
fuck
anything.
up ridiculously bad.
Yeah, they have to shoot themselves in the foot. They have to shoot themselves in the foot.
Which, you know, EA, it is quite possible.
You know, it's crazy. Like everyone shat on EA for so long. Now everyone's come back and they're playing on EA.
Yeah.
Right now, the ones in the shitter are Blizzard, Bethesda. Like this, everyone's taking a turn.
Yeah,
EA's
pretty
like,
much.
well, it's time for us to release our game. Everybody, the tension's off us now. All the Star Wars hate is off us now. It's time to fucking send in our fucking. They've got EA's got what they want. They've got a game with loot boxes and everybody's
Yeah.
fucking paying their money. But the thing is, I don't think people have a problem with loot boxes so much. It's when there's loot boxes in a game you already paid for.
Yeah,
And like,
I
I've
agree.
already paid for this content. Like, why am I paying more? It's like when the game's free to play, it's different. Like,
Yeah, I don't care
it's
for it. I
what's-
mean, it's optional, right? And like,
yeah,
um, the only problem is, I guess, the higher level you are, the slower it is to get loot boxes. You don't get a loot box every single level after level 20 or
yeah.
something.
It doesn't
Um,
take too long to level. It's
but
faster to
yeah, it
level up in
takes longer anyway.
Apex. It's faster to level up in Apex than it is in Overwatch. Way
Yeah,
faster.
yeah, it is.
So I don't have too much of an issue with it. It feels fine.
And it doesn't feel like a grind anyway because you're having fun doing it.
Yeah, it's such a good game. It's yeah, the Apex is good. That's gonna be, I reckon, it'll be the esport of 2019. It'll
There
be
you
the
go.
esport of 2019. That
Calling
is
it
my,
out.
I'm calling it right now. I think there's going to be some big events later on in the year for Apex. I've already been sent some emails about future things. I don't like, it didn't explain anything, but it said like put your interest in now, like a streaming email. I was like, okay, like I already put my name down. So I feel like there's going to be big things. So that's already happening right now. The game's only just came out.
Yeah.
I feel like cool, they've already got it, and EA have the money to do that.
Oh,
It's not
easily.
like
Yeah.
they don't need to worry about shit. And it's probably easy to get sponsors for it too, because the fact that it's like number one on Twitch right now, it's EA, and people are seeing the success of battle royales. So it's something that sponsors would jump straight onto. It wouldn't have any problem funding events for it. The only issue it is when you run, say, like a LAN offline event. The problem is with a battle royale is all the computers that you need to have.
Yeah.
So that's like Counter Strike and
difficult.
League of Legends have done so well because you only need 10.
Mhm.
Really, it's like at the finals, you just got to put 10 computers up there, and then you have stuff for broadcast, and that's it. Really.
Yeah, which means it's going to be very difficult to have consistent lands without it being like a big major. Like,
Yeah.
like I can imagine big ones happening, but on a consistent basis, yeah, it could be a bit of a problem.
They'll have to find their way around it, but
I
they'll
mean,
figure
it's
out
it's
something.
easy to fucking understand the game as well. Like the one problem with Overwatch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are plenty of problems with Overwatch. Don't get me started. But like, if I'm a casual viewer, and then I just watch Twitch, launch up Overwatch League. Now, to be honest, this has been helped recently as well with like some of the visual indicators they have on like the heroes and the color scheme changes. But
Yeah.
it's like very difficult to understand everything that's happening on the screen at the same time
Yeah.
because you have 12 heroes. They all have 3 abilities each, and it's like as a casual viewer, you're not absorbing anything. Like, you don't understand how things are happening. You're just like, oh, it's happening. That's the same problem with MOBAs, right? But in Apex, they've designed the game in a way and that all the abilities are really fucking simple. Like, hey, you have one guy, he has a shield, then he has an airstrike. Hey, you have one guy who sends out a decoy. You have one girl who has a heal. Like, it's very fucking simple to understand.
Yeah.
And all the abilities, it's not visually clustered in that I'm glad they only made one ability and then an ultimate rather than having
Mm,
two in an ultimate, because then it
yeah,
starts to get clunky in a battle royale. So I'm really happy with that design choice.
yeah, because you have so many more. Yeah, because you have so many people in the game.
Yeah,
If you had, imagine if everybody had one extra, that would be too intense.
that
It'd be
would,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's very refined. It's very refined. They've obviously play tested this or put a lot of work in before they launched it to the public. Because nowadays, as soon as you launch something that's not ready, it's going to get shit on. Like
Hmm.
if you announce that it's like a full release, or at least announce it's somewhat close to it, or whatever, people are going to shit on it. And we also saw that with like Fallout 76. Like that game came
Yeah,
out
the
way too
big
early. We've seen
yikes.
that with what's that one on the Hello Games made? The one
Um,
on PS4. No Man's Sky.
No Man's
It's
Sky.
like No Man's
Yeah.
Sky. Like all these games, these there's certain games like, and we saw like PUBG is not optimized yet. Um, yeah, like they've done a fantastic job. It's going to be the esports 2019. I'm telling you right now, that game is going to fucking go
It
places.
deserves it.
You said that with Fortnite. And you've said that with this. This time I believe you, and this time I'm on the
You
train.
better. You better.
It's good. Okay, they do have one thing that's easier for them is since it's 60 players, that is 100 less PC. Sorry, 40 less PCs than Fortnite because Fortnite's 100. They usually run. Yeah. How many do
Yep.
they run like in a tournament? Do they do 100?
I'm not too sure. I think they do. I think they go the full way.
60 is fine because you know what they could even do even for tournaments. They could probably even dart back a couple of less from 60 if they wanted to.
Hmm.
60 is probably doable, at least for like big scale things. It's not going to be as much of an issue. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm keen to see what the future holds for Apex. I know that I'm going to keep playing it and keep making content around it.
Hmm.
So I'll pay attention. I'll be happy to watch some tournaments. I just hope that yeah, the one thing that I don't know because I didn't watch Twitch Rivals. I don't. Did they have a spectator client set up for that?
No, they don't.
Okay,
If
that's
I'm being completely honest, it was awful. In that
awful.
the way that they structured it was that there's several Twitch streamers streaming at the same time, and they're basically queuing publicly, and they were counting the amount of like kills they had on average or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so
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 it's just basically an advertisement then. It's just a marketing
but
thing. It's not actual
basically,
tournament.
like, yeah, they weren't going up against each other in any like regard in the same match. It's just that they
Okay.
like it wasn't a tournament by any means. They were advertising it as a tournament, but yeah, it's not real because there's no private lobbies or anything like that. Yeah,
Okay, so that's fine. So the biggest issue they face right now, in my opinion, would be the spectator client. How are you going
yeah,
to make it appealing to spectators, and how easy? Because cool, it could work at the top level, but if it doesn't work down at the grassroots level, if it's not easy for communities to get involved and start running tournaments, and then like you can fund them fucking in-game currency as prizes or whatever the fuck happens. If you can't do that, then they'll be in for it will eventually bottom out
yeah.
because all the things that last for a long time are able to be run at the grassroots level. That's why Counter Strike's still around because anybody can fucking run a tournament. It's like Dota's still around. So League of Legends is still around. It has fucking inbuilt great spectating clients that anybody can fucking host a tournament and then get like funding or whatever the fuck. That's why Overwatch was struggled for a long time, and that's why probably Overwatch is not in a good place, in my opinion, anyway.
That's probably accurate. Yeah,
As an esport, like because the spectating client was fucking shit. We all know that because like we've all hosted tournaments or at least broadcasted it, and it was a fucking nightmare to be casting it while doing the production, running the camera, all that sort of stuff, updating things. It was a fucking mess. And yeah, I just hope that with Apex and EA they support the grassroots communities of each region because you know with Overwatch that wasn't the case
mm.
where everything got gutted out.
Yeah. They just
Like
basically put all their eggs in the Overwatch League, and they're like, okay, everyone else just wait, we'll give it to you eventually.
yeah, and I feel that was the issue with PUBG as well. The you had to get approval to have extra spectator slots in your servers
Oh shit.
for tournaments. Yeah, and that's a fucking red light right there, dude. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for like Bluehole to tell me I can have extra slots, like to give me that access. I don't know the reasons behind that. I don't have any idea of that, but I just know as being involved in like grassroots communities running tournaments, that's just a fucking mess. Like, how are you meant to get people involved and have people care about it? Because they're just going to move on to something else. So there's no tournaments being ran. The competitive side is just going to die. You're not feeding in through any new players, any new blood,
Hmm.
because that happens all the time in Counter Strike. It might be not like the most popping sort of game. It's not always like the flavor of the month, but they've had tournaments running for decades now. Like, how long's that game been out? Like 20 years?
Right about, yeah.
Probably about 20 years. They Ever since I've ever been into online shooters, I've played Counter Strike.
Hmm.
So, and you even have a look at the major. The numbers for the major right now, we're not even up to the quarterfinals, or just the quarterfinals are going to start tomorrow night. As of when we're recording this, the numbers are still huge.
They
The
are, yeah.
CS:GO major is still it's still very relevant. IEM in Australia, which is pretty much Counter Strike, still sells a shitload of tickets. Like, people might not play the game as much online as compared to like other shooting titles, but as an esport, as a spectator sport, people can watch that game because it's so simplified and it's easy to digest. That's why it's always going to be around as long as esports is a thing, because anybody can watch it. Like, I don't play CS:GO that much, but I still watch a lot of like the top tier shit.
Hmm.
And it's always going to have new players coming through because there's heaps of grassroots tournaments everywhere that any new player can get involved. So that's what Apex needs to do. They need to have a look at like how CS:GO has stuck around, and like that's the best example of how an esport can last.
Well, 20 years would be a good benchmark to get.
Mm-hmm.
That would, I think
Yeah.
even half of that for Apex would be
And
an achievement.
yeah, like even Dota, I guess. Look at
Yeah.
Dota. Like, Valve have done a good job. Like, Valve have done a very good job of catering to the esports side of things. They're doing a good job.
Hmm.
So
We've
I
gotten a
don't,
lot
yeah,
better over the years.
yeah, that's good. I love it. But
Yeah, sort
yeah,
of like that. Right, the games were having a bit of a feud for a while when a lot of their content was sort of being strangled because the casting talent couldn't make any content on the YouTube channel. So
yeah,
yeah, so they had like Riot, Jat, usually a very smart guy. People were very interested in seeing him like produce YouTube content. For the longest time in the world, Riot was sanctioning all of their talent and saying, "No, if you want to make content, you have to do it like through the league stream, and it's gonna be like all produced by us, and we're gonna have to like moderate everything to how we want to do it." And man, oh that sucked so much for Riot. That's why like I believe in a sort of, I mean, look, first of all, that's really fucking wrong. That is abysmal. Like it's not even like you're completely discriminating against the company that you're working with. You're just, maybe you're looking at patch notes and you're like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool. I can imagine these people working really well with like these champions. Like, it's not something that's illegal or anything. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why Riot are monitoring it in that sort of way. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure it's been fixed now, and as a result of that, by the way, a lot of their talent has fucked off because
mm,
they were sick of just being held hands. I think Monty ended up making a video of this like a couple years ago called
yeah.
Riot's Casting Cage or something like that.
He was one of the first to leave. Well, the
Yeah,
first two to leave were D Man and Joe Miller. They were the first two.
they were, yeah.
Yeah, and
And then
then
it's been a slow.
Monty. Yeah, but like Monty wasn't ever really like with them. He was independently contracted.
With OGN.
Yeah, so he never was a part of like Riot, but he stopped working in their events like the World Championships because of the way they were. I don't know. It's a long time ago now, I guess.
Oh yeah, that would have been like 5 years ago.
What? No, less than that.
Less? Oh, it was about a
Probably
year before,
three and a bit.
but about a year before Overwatch launched, so it probably would have been three, four.
So about 2016, end of 2015, I think.
Hmm, not
Maybe
too
end of
sure.
2015.
God, it
Yeah.
makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Just trying to. I think 15. So 2016. I got a feeling it was 2015. So I remember I've watched him at 2000, the 2013 Worlds, 2014 Worlds. He was there,
Hmm.
100%. I think he was there for two. Maybe that was the 2015 Worlds he didn't attend, and that was like the big shitstorm. So season 5.
Not too sure.
It's either that or it was either that or it was 2016. But I got a feeling it was 2015 because 2016 is when Overwatch came out, and that's when he was on board because he was there from like with the Korean scene from the get go
Yeah, it's pretty much
with,
instantly
with
there.
OGN.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was there. Yeah, but yeah. All right. What should we talk about?
Um,
I'm tired because I just finished streaming.
yeah, I did a workout like pretty much just before
Mm.
we ended up recording, so I had to have a quick shower.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking a little bit laid. But you know, regardless, we're still recording because we're both hardworking gentlemen. Um,
Maybe you.
oh, that's fine, mate. You just streamed for 5 hours. What are you talking about? All right, so
That's not
let's.
like that hard. Oh well, I don't really consider that part of work. Physical.
Yeah, I
It's not
mean
that.
it can sort of be draining. Like people do underestimate streaming.
Mm. Well, I think the hardest thing about streaming is everything's mental
Mm,
because okay, so say you spend 4 or 5 hours streaming, especially if it's someone that's new or you know, everyone goes through it or whatever. The part that's hard is streaming to no one. That's the part that's hard, and figuring out how to keep people's attention, how to grow a community, how to be part of communities, and just like figuring out how the whole system works because you're constantly growing, constantly learning, and that's the part that people struggle with the most because it creates a lot of anxiety for some people, or it can cause like depression or whatever because it doesn't feel good to have no one there because you're like, well, why don't I just go fucking play with my friends,
yeah.
or why don't I go do this? Because you're giving up whatever it is that you would be doing in your day at that time. So that could be an extra job, or even just a job, or studying, or spending time with someone that you love, or whatever. That's like a lot of time out of the day that people dedicate to that, to something that may not work out. So that shit plays on people's minds. So it's all mental because it's not that like you're sitting here in a chair playing games unless you got like back problems or whatever. Like for someone like me who's able and fine, um, it's not physically taxing to sit here and stream every day or 6 days a week or whatever. It's more like the mental side of things.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, every time you go into a stream, like, okay, I hope people are going to turn up. I hope people remember to come watch and all that sort of shit, and not to like over clutter your fucking social media and spam your shit everywhere and every fucking Discord and everything where you just everybody wants to everybody wants to be a streamer who's like on Twitch, but like not everybody can be a streamer. That's the
Mhm.
hard part, and trying to navigate that and being patient and persistent. It's fucking tough. Like that's the tough part. That's the part that like people don't really. I guess people talk about it, but like that's the part that fucking sucks. That's it's fucking rough, man. That's a rough part. I I try to spend as much time as I can on other people's streams who are just that are like starting out or whatever. I try to meet as many new people as possible. Not to like bring them back to my channel, but at least to encourage people because people have done that to me. I've had a lot of other streamers come through like even like really well established streamers come through when I had like fucking 5 viewers or whatever and just like tell me to keep going or whatever because it makes a big difference if like people who have done it or at least are on their way is telling you to keep going and they give you they encourage you. It's makes a massive difference.
Mhm.
because you know someone's paying attention and like there's somebody there for you to lean on, someone there you can talk about problems with. Because not like everybody in the most people in your life, like in your circle, outside of like gaming, whatever, probably don't understand like what it is that you're going through as a streamer.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. It's really fucking hard, especially if you're dating someone who isn't into streaming or doesn't understand it. That'd be really fucking tough.
I
Because
imagine it
like,
would. Yeah.
why are they spending all this time with these people on the internet? And they're just all these randoms, and they only spend time with me. Like, it'd be fucking tough. So, yeah, I don't know how I got into that, but whatever.
No, no, that's fine, mate. We could actually. Oh, whoops! I nearly punched out my pop filter. Uh,
Yeah,
but
punch him out, knock him out.
yeah, mate, it's been a naughty pop filter. I don't fucking know. Uh, so we can reverse back to when we first met. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
think this is probably a reasonable storyline for the both of us.
Okay, we can do this. I
Um,
guess like most people maybe have not even heard that, like how we met or whatever. We can do this. We can like check mark this,
yeah,
bookmark wherever this is now in the podcast. This is how we all start. Bang,
yeah,
go.
bam. So I remember back when I was attempting to be a caster in Overwatch. I was basically
Were you
try
17 then?
17 2 years ago. Yeah, I was 17,
Mm.
and somehow I sounded more intelligent when I was 17. I was actually about a couple weeks ago. I was looking back at my really really old casting VODs, and I remember when I was casting, I used to have like a notepad, or several
Yeah.
notepads on the wall,
Yeah.
and they used to be like really long, sophisticated words, so I could like change my vocabulary in the cast. And sometimes you'd notice that I'd be stuck on a word because I had no idea what it fucking meant, and I have like a notepad there. So,
Yeah.
and like I just did it because I wanted to sound smart. So anyway, um,
Yeah.
I was asked, I believe, from Watchpoint initially. My very first community cast was from
Wait,
Watchpoint.
server 76?
Server 76, yeah, actually, yeah. There you go. Going back even further. Thanks for the reminder. Um,
How do
yes.
you pronounce his name? Koth or Koth? I've heard
Uh,
people say Koth, and I've always said Koth, but some people say Koth.
I say Koth because I don't know, King of the Hill. That's the only fucking logic I have around it, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
true.
I was doing casts like probably about 3 hours a day for like a month, basically.
Mm.
And then I think I ended up contacting Bobby because at this time, I believe you were doing like cyber gamer stuff weekly with like Xanox and Geno.
Yes, this would have been around October. This is what
When you had your Shaggy profile pic on Discord.
yeah, yeah, dude. Because I used to like everyone. Yeah, 'cause, like I think like that was one point in time. I don't know. I guess they like resembled me or whatever. I love Shaggy. Um, is it where like he was upside down?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the chin and the face.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was upside down. It was fucking awesome. I love Shaggy. Um, yeah, this would have been like October 2016. So this would have been after I stopped casting with GameStar. So I
Yeah,
remember,
it was afterwards.
yeah, okay. So like where it started for me was GameStar was the first company I ever or organization I ever casted with, and that was due to okay. I originally asked somebody else, the guy Fugs. It was funny because Fugs and I talk. So I don't know if he remembers this. He has to like he fucking has to have remembered. He was had to remember this that he hosted like Overwatch Winter something, Winter whatever it was. He hosted like one of the first ever Overwatch things that were coming. Well, he announced the first tournament, and I started playing that game in beta, and I was like, this game is fucking awesome. I originally okay. I guess I'm gonna start how I got into casting then,
Yep.
and then that can tie into like how we met. then we can continue that story. So this is like the prequel to it. I watched League of Legends Wild Cards All Stars 2015 in Melbourne at Margaret Court Arena. And I remember being there. I'm like, this is fucking sick. This got me back. I was starting to watch esports still, like with just League of Legends. And being there at that live event, I'm like, damn, I want to get back into like esports because I used to be heavy into the Counter Strike scene and like Counter Strike Source. And then I played a bit of Go or whatever, but I was mostly into League of Legends at the time. That's what all my friends that I met at uni and everything we all played. And I went there with them, and I was like, man, this is fucking sick. And that's how I started getting more into Twitch because I would go onto like the different league streamers on Twitch, and I tried my hand at a little bit of streaming, but it wasn't like that great or whatever. I was just mostly just random horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's, me just screaming. My titles was like I pee my pants or something dumb.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I got into Overwatch, and at the time I was not really liking my job. I was studying at the time as well, so I was studying and working. I fucking hated it, and then like I quit my job, and I was just studying at the time. I was studying TV production. I just switched over from studying animation because I wanted to make a cartoon. But then the guy I was making the cartoon with, we had a falling out. Then I wanted to try production because I saw the esports event, and several people that I know that did the course I started doing, I got into. They qualified from that, and they started working for LCS, and I think they were the production team that were doing the wild cards of the League of Legends thingy. I was like, man, I want to do that. So I chased up through that, and they told me which course they did. And so I enrolled in that, and I was doing it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to put on esports productions. So when I put my hand up to do Overwatch, I saw that there was these things going on. I originally said like, hey, I want to do some production, I want to do some casting or whatever. I wasn't really too sure like how it would go. I just knew that I loved this game. I thought like I had to get into something new, because there's no way you can get into. I saw like League of Legends was fairly established with their casters, with everything. Like, why would they spend the time getting somebody new?
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do is getting your foot through the door. So you got to do it with something new. And Overwatch, had all the buzz, all the craze. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. And then I put my hand up for like whatever shit. And then GameStar are the ones who said they needed somebody to help. And Crisis, so always I gotta say like big thank you to him. Even though I shouldn't really use names, but I guess with him, like big thank you to him for giving me like the opportunity to cast my first ever Overwatch event, and it was with Bizer. So if you already know Bizer as a Rocket League commentator, but he was actually the first person I ever casted Overwatch with. And it was me and him casting the Chiefs versus some fucking random unknown thing. So it was like, hey, Katie, Termo, a few others, all those guys. And the first ever official Overwatch tournament ever in Australia. I casted with Bizer, and it was the Chiefs. Picked up a team before they even played a tournament. Picked up a fucking team. And they were playing 3 Soldier 76ers on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and they all put down their pods, and they're all constantly healing. Just always putting down a pod. And they're just sitting up there just shooting constantly. They always had like the tactical visor always coming. Constantly. Always. Because someone already had it. Always had it.
That's
so just cycling them. I was like, okay, how do I cast this? How do you know people would just give you so much shit. Well, like, what are you even trying to cast? So I was very lucky that I got to grow with the game, grow with the community, and learn on the fly, because like there wasn't really any way to cast it at the time. Not even the professional casters knew how to cast it. So that was a good point for me. I had an easier time getting into learning how to commentate, because I was commentating a game that I was learning at the time. I didn't know it was going to be like one of the fucking hardest games ever to commentate and ever to put production on, because imagine doing the camera work, all that shit we just talked about earlier, the camera, doing all like the shit in OBS, all the overlays, all that sort of stuff while you're commentating, and then maybe like trying to like admin tournaments at the same time, and people like sending you shit in Discord that something's going wrong. I never want to go back to doing that ever again, because that was just the most stressful time. I can't believe like we fucking did that. It was crazy. Like I did that for a while. I did that with my mate. His name's Matt. People might remember him as like All G. He's usually just in my Twitch streams nowadays. Like he works in in the gaming industry as like a video game developer. But he was the first person I ever like I did like a full season with. And then I can't remember who I started. I think I did it with Geimer, and then
Oh, I
that
remember
went on
Gamer.
to yeah, and then I did bits and pieces with Avril here and there. I think. And then it was, of course, like Xenox and I did a whole bunch together, and then Genome came just after, and Doctor as well. But then Doctor and Gino were mostly doing like the in between analysis between matches, and it was mostly Xenox and I together.
Mhm.
And then that changed when I no longer did the GameStar stuff, and I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to do this anymore, even though I was recognized by like everybody in the. I wouldn't say like everybody, but all the pro players knew who I was at the time. I started doing like the pod. I had been doing like podcasts and doing whatever I could to get recognized because I fucking loved it. Like I was obsessed. That's all I thought about every day was the pro scene, and I just got obsessed with like the storylines. So I was never the best technically. I was never whatever. Like I was never the best sounding one because Xenox had a way better voice than me. I was never the most intelligent because Genome knew more about that, and like Doctor, of course, like knew way more about the game than me. I was never the most high. I don't know. I think I was just the most like involved, I suppose. The one who would always know all the players, know all the stories, know like all that sort of shit. Because I used to write out heaps of storylines, used to write out heaps of shit. I used to try and get people on the podcast so I could like start like and start like advertising the game, start some sort of like beat. Like it's almost like Ariel. I got the ideas of like Ariel Hawani, the guy
Yeah.
that does the podcast for like a lot of podcasts he did for like MMA,
Mhm.
where he'd get like fighters to come on and talk shit, or the players to come on and talk shit about the other teams, but like in a fun way where you just want to hype up the game. Like we want to start like interest. So like an underground, it was like an underground thing for a while,
Mm.
and then I when I started like doing the things on my own with like Cyber Gamer, like that shit started going crazy at one point because we had like 20 something teams. Like the first one I ever did, we fairly struggled to get 4 because I was off on my own. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, like whatever. And I remember like, you remember Sirio? What's his name? Sarah. Uh, the guy that does breakdance. He does like inner dancing, and he was like playing Overwatch as well. He's always wearing different hats and shit. Korean guy.
No idea.
Anyway, he's the first one that I ever like did like the cyber gamer thing with because like all the other boys were already busy casting, finishing off what they had to do. But then we eventually got the crew together, and like then that's when I met you as well. When I finished up with GameStar, I had the boys from Full Circle contact me. I went into their Discord and I told them I want to get involved. I want to learn. Like I want to be a professional. I want to have studio. I want to work and I want to cast out of a studio. I want to do this. I want to do that or whatever. So like okay, like we'll do that. Like okay, if you're serious, but you remember you have to be professional. This and this and this and this and this. It's completely different than being online. You have to. It's like a big fucking step up. Like I was like yeah whatever. That's fucking whatever. I didn't even
Easy.
fucking think about it. And like I didn't like I just talking out of my ass really. And like I didn't think anything would come of it. But like slowly but surely things started happening because like Cam Russell like fucking made shit happen. And sure, like that ended up happening. I got that offer, and then I knew about that well in advance of like it happening. That I was going to go over there and cast. I was going to be involved, so I fucking practiced my ass off, and that's when we started casting together. So you were pretty much like my sparring partner in a way. Think of it like you and Doctor was the 2 guys I did heaps of shit with. That's why like we still have like I could get a jump into a game and cast with you and we'd be fine. And even if we didn't know what was going on, because at least we could go backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And it's the same with like we did with like I did with Doctor, because we just did so many hours together, so many. And you're like one of the main guys who got me like prepared for that shit. So I was that was the when I did the Full Circle event, that was when I was my most prepared for any event because I knew everything that going into it, like all the teams, every like I was good to go. And that's when you got in the casting. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. That's how Bobby J and Racquet interacted with each other. I was just used as a guinea pig for his success. I'm joking.
Hey!
I'm joking. I'm joking.
This is the case.
I'm joking.
This is the part where you talk, mate. This is where I got.
Mhm.
Look, mate, I've tried to teach you for years. This is what I handed it over to you now.
Yeah.
Like I talk over and I go over how much. That's why was the problem with always me with casting. I always had a bad problem of talking a bit too long,
Mm.
and I just don't. I just naturally just don't shut the fuck up and
I
then
know
like
that.
hand across. That was always a problem. I remember when I worked in cyber game, and the one thing they told me is you talk too fucking much. Like just fucking go hand it off to an
See that
ad. I'm like, I
that's
just
why
don't. You
I would
guys.
love to cast with you in real life, Bobby. So if you're talking
Yeah.
too much, I can just fucking like stomp on your foot or something.
Oh, dude, it's been done. It's been done. People have whacked me like all over me and shit. And like over the best part about like when you're casting is the shit they'll say to you over broadcasts.
Yeah.
Like I've had some like funny shit people say because they'll say some dirty stuff. Oh, not dirty. Like they'll be like, "Oh, you're looking fucking sexy in that suit" or whatever. Someone will say stuff like that, try
You
and make
try
you
not to
laugh.
laugh. Yeah.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's a way to make you smile to the camera, mate. It's-
Like yeah, they'll say like that's the fun part. Is like when you go to a studio.
Mm.
So like that all roll on. When I did that full circle thing, like I shit myself, dude. I was so scared. I was shaking and everything because I was like, I don't want to fuck up. So like the reason I was there is because the community really supported me then. So I remember then I didn't get to do the qualifiers, right? Or the early ones. Not spamming like my name there. I remember seeing all that sort of shit, and
The people's
and
champ.
I, and I was like, fuck. Like I felt like real sad, and I just want to be there. I just loved it. Like it was very addicting. It was very addicting, and it was very. I was always at my. I don't know how many people know this. I think I've tried to be pretty open about it at this point in time. Now I struggle with like some mental health stuff, like social anxiety. So the highs can be really high and the lows can be really low, and I was very addicted to like the attention that it got. And even though it's like you're not famous, you're not anything really, but it's still like attention from a group of people, from a community of
Yeah.
people. I mean, you're like center of attention, and it feels like that. It's very addicting because it feels fucking good. It feels better than like any other drug. Like when after I finished like the full circle thing, like after I finished that first cast, although so the last cast, like the first event, um, like I hugged the shit out of like Doctor, and I felt so fucking good, like better than any drug, anything best I've like ever felt. It was really hard to explain
Mm-hmm.
the high that you got, but then the low that came after it was like because I didn't know what was next. Because like they were all away in New Zealand, and they've wanted to work with me again, but I've always said no, because like it's in another country and it's really hard. I love all those guys over there. It was like the best time I ever had was with working with all of them. Um, and that's when I was probably the easiest to work with, I guess, at the time. But damn, like, okay, I think this was when like you started casting some of the cyber gamer shit. But like when I came back, that's when like the cyber gamer stuff
I
kicked
think that's
off.
when I started doing stuff with Shiznik as well. If you remember Shiznik.
Yeah, yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting some nostalgia now.
yeah. We like did some of the Zen stuff, but then like
Yeah.
I came back with a bad attitude because I was like, oh, it should be done like this, should be done like that. When I'm like forgetting, like it's not the same thing. Like it's people just trying to put something on for the community,
Hmm.
and I'm like telling it, should be this, that should be that. You can get. I got like an ego then, and that's a really bad thing to have, and because of like the attention, and I was probably treated better than what people thought I was. Definitely, probably thought I was better than what I actually was, and then that definitely stunted my growth as a commentator. And I think that was always going to be like the downfall and like the loss of like passion for it. Because I used to be this, I used to have like notes open everywhere and try to learn everything about all these players and take the time to learn shit. When later on, I end up just getting carried through because the guys have been there for me for ages, and that's why we stopped doing shit because I was just too difficult to work with. There'll be times where I just fucking wouldn't talk for like days because a lot of them didn't really know. Like they started to know more and more about my anxiety, I think when we went to Adelaide, that's when they probably found out the most. When I was struggling to come back after New Zealand, that's when they first realized it. But then they didn't know the extent of it until like they deal that with me in person when we were staying together, the boys. So like, and then they carried me through shit. And when Blizzard like gutted everything out, that's when shit got real bad because when we didn't know there were no more tournaments other than like the Overwatch Open, which we all like just pitched in to do like ourselves. And I was trying to do like Rocket League and CS:GO because I wanted to make money from it because we were making money before, and I wanted to be able to do this full time because I quit my job and everything. I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this. So, and then it's just so hard to like do like 3 games at once,
Yeah.
like every week, and have the same passion. And like I started falling behind like everybody else in the Overwatch scene, and like players would even say like be upset with me because I'm not putting like the same amount of effort in, and but like there's no money, like everything was gone, and like it didn't feel the same. Like I'm gonna do all this work and get nothing out of it. Like there's no opportunity.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of uncertainty.
Yeah, and it felt so weird because like as someone I was saying like who had anxiety, you know, it was fucked, man. It was fucking my head all the time. And that's when I started getting more into streaming. It was towards the end of 2017. And like I was a nightmare for like anybody to be around because I got the work with like HP. I did that tour, but I was coming off of like all the crazy shit, and but people still, I don't know, thinking that like I should be commentating this, commentating that, or whatever, and like uncertain about Overwatch contenders. This is before contenders got announced, and like all I wanted was to cast contenders, and I took that up the HP thing, promoting Overwatch or whatever, doing the Overwatch thing, going around to different conventions because I thought that was going to be my ticket into contenders. But all I did was make things fucking worse because I was traveling on the weekends or like, several weekends, and I was just a fucking mess. I was just annoying to be around. Like I wasn't pleasant to work with. I wouldn't listen to people because the people I worked with, I was like, oh, I know more about the game than you. And that's not the case though, because like it's still like a live event. I've never really worked that many live shows, and they're probably like, "Who the fuck is this idiot?" Like, think he knows all this sort of shit. And because I always get told like you're pretty good on the mic. That was always my thing. Like I was always good on the mic because I wouldn't shut the fuck up, and I could keep going. So there was any issues, like I didn't stop. So there's any tech issues or whatever, I could just keep going and just fucking go with it. Like good with like improv or all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I didn't never shut the fuck up. That was always like, that's probably like why I got work really quickly and really early on. Whereas there's a lot of people who have been in the industry for quite some time. It took them several years to get like professional work. And, you know, they've had to earn it and like scrape their way there, where I was very lucky. I was in the right place at the right time, and I didn't mature as a like on air sort of like talent and being able to work in a team environment, like compared to like other people, because I've always been quite solo minded, especially like having anxiety. Like I would just always cut myself off from a lot of people. Always like to do things on my always do things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like working with people, I was very bad at like communicating how I felt about things. I'd bottle things up and then I'd like get real angry and just like want to not talk to people for a bit. So like, how the fuck can you work with someone like that?
Yeah.
It's made it hard on everybody. So that's why like eventually everything would like fall apart. And like I'd stream on the side, and I started doing pretty good like streaming wise. But every time I'd get back into streaming, be after like doing like an event or something, and then you know have to reboot the fucking community side of it, and then they feel like they're coming in second to like all the commentary stuff. So that's when I made the decision to just stick with streaming. I I feel like Xenox. I don't know if he did this. I've never like really spoken about it with him. I don't know if he did this as a way to like kind of like give me like one last opportunity or whatever when we did the PUBG thing. Because that was the biggest thing I've ever casted in terms of like the scale of the event, all that sort of shit. It was a pretty cool thing to add to the resume. It's a pretty cool thing he did for me. He pretty much carried me through that whole event. Um, I didn't have a lot of time to learn PUBG, I guess, and I probably should have put more effort into it. But he definitely like carried me a lot through that. I was definitely a mess going into it, and after several weeks after, I was really like embarrassed to even just be on the internet or whatever. I just didn't say anything to anyone, and I just played God of War for like 3 weeks straight and just avoided speaking to people. And
Look, I
then
don't blame you for that one, to be honest.
then I slowly got back into streaming. Would have been like June last year. Slowly got back into it, and then I stuck to that. But yeah, that's where like, everything went. I like to tell like everybody where I went and how we crossed paths, and then we did like a little bit of Rocket League together. We were trying to do that, but like I never had the same passion.
Yeah, same with me.
And a lot of people have done really good things for me, and I feel like I there's people I owe shit back to. There's people who have done a lot of stuff for me, and I want them to know like I haven't forgot about all the things they've done for me, and finally getting to a spot now where I can I'm finally wouldn't say I like I'm finally just right now finally able to like live financially somewhat stable, and uh, I'm passionate about something that I'm doing, and I'm a lot happier. So all the people that have done shit for me, I'm making sure I give them back to them. That's why I trying to spend a lot of time with the smaller streamers. Even though I'm not big at all, I'm still very small, but I try to help other people because a lot of people have helped me. Like one person's like Daniel Harrison's done heaps for me. He might not think that, but like he motivated me heaps, man. Like just being able to pick his brain, like you listen to me heaps, like late at night. Remember, I had like nothing. We were just hanging out in your Discord. We were just playing fucking tabletop simulator, Vermintide 2.
Heroes of the Storm.
Right? Definitely Heroes of the Storm. Even a bit of League of Legends.
Yeah, that's when you know shit's gone sour. When you're launching
Oh,
that game.
when you're back on the crack.
Yeah.
And then where was I gonna go with that? And then eventually I just started like meeting people, meeting other streamers and stuff. Like when I got to work like different events like PAX and RTX and all that, that was a good way to meet a lot of other content creators, and that really helped. And the meeting like Shaggy Steve was someone who was not too far away or didn't live too far away from me, so it was a person I could always like talk to about shit, and we became quite close, and he's one of my best friends now, and he's done like heaps for me, man, heaps. He's very supportive. And then like meeting my girlfriend through streaming as well. I don't know, just everything right now. I just kind of just like removed like all the negative shit, solely just focused on things that are just making me happy. Even though there's still days where I struggle, there's days that are bad, there's days when I'm sad, there's days when I'm depressed or whatever. Everybody does that, but I try to be more open about it. It's fucking hard sometimes. Because you're doing something that requires people's attention. If you don't have their attention, it fucking sucks. Like there's definitely days where like streaming's like real hard, and there's like half the people that you had this time than like last week or whatever. Anyway, things are like a lot better. Just try to surround yourself with people that are positive influences. Not saying that other people weren't, but I never put myself in the position to learn, and I never put myself in the position to seek out like positive vibes from other people. I was always just focused on the negative, whereas now it's a bit different. So it goes out to anyone else who wants to get into casting, who wants to do any of that sort of shit. You just got to be able to like learn, and like even if you disagree with things, you're gonna have to learn to do things someone else's way and see things through like their point of view. Like especially people with more experience than you, they might not have the same experience in the game or like the scene or whatever that you're covering, but they would have more experience, like live wise, like production wise, that you wouldn't think about certain things. And I am definitely more adjusted to being a part of like a community, because I think that's the thing I love the most, just being a part of a community of people, being able to talk about games and hanging out and doing the social shit. Because like whenever I was away doing any event, I was always more interested in like hanging out with everybody
Yeah.
rather than actually doing the work.
Hmm.
So I think like streaming has been like, it feels like a lot more natural.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really happy a lot of the people that I've casted with have gone on to do some cool shit. And now that you've started doing some, you've been streaming a lot, and like you did a lot of coaching with like Overwatch. Well, we've both moved on pretty much from the Overwatch scene,
Pretty much, yeah.
and you are now playing Apex. Well, we've been playing heaps of Apex together now,
Hmm.
and then you've been into like fighting games, yeah, like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah, it's sort of a beginning of a new era for me. Because I'm not gonna lie, last year, like mental wise, was pretty bad. You know, before the year ended, actually, just before Christmas, I ended up breaking up with my partner, which was unfortunate. But it was actually one of my very first committed relationships. And before that, my mum ended up being diagnosed with an incurable throat disease. Um, so told by the doctors that she wouldn't have that long to live. So for months and months, I was like so ridiculously depressed. I didn't want to talk to anyone, and when I did talk to people, I felt like I was dragging them down with me, and I never want that to happen, right? Because I don't want other people to share my suffering. So I made a pledge probably about one month after the New Year's. I said I want to sort my shit together. I don't want anyone else to like feel sorry for me. I want to be responsible for my own actions, and I just want to be a better person overall. So I've sort of made my own ground to stand on, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stream once every 2 days on Twitch and more whenever I can, basically. And when I don't stream, I'm gonna upload a YouTube video, which has been successful for about nearly a month now. So that's
Mm-hmm.
been great. And yeah, I have some opportunities down the line that is possible with fighting games in terms of casting stuff like that, which would be probably cool. And yeah, it's just like all about flipping the mentality, man. Like this is why I'm making the podcast as well, because like it's one. I mean, to be honest, you're more popular than me, so it benefits. But like you're my friend. I don't look at this as a sort of way to promote either of us. It's sort of like, we're friends. We're discussing shit together. At the same time, sure, promotion is involved. I don't know how popular this would be, but like it's fun to do regardless, right? I like to talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
and podcasts are a great format to do that. It's why I'm starting. I've started several series on my YouTube channel. I have stream highlights that are uploaded like twice every week, which is it's been fantastic and fun to edit. But yeah, man, like new year, new me, like as fucking niche, sorry, cliche as that sounds. Um, yeah, just flipping the attitude, because yeah, the end of last year fucking sucked, and I was like depressed about the way that my Overwatch career went. About like I wasn't confident in myself in relation to my coaching and my casting, because I'm like a severe overthinker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, short story. So if you haven't watched this video, by the way, people who are listening to this, my first episode of Racquet Rambles, it's called "Talent is Both a Blessing and a Curse." So basically, like the general gist of the video is that when I was younger, I was like a very, very, very good sprinter. So when I was about 10 or 12 years old, um, and basically, I got like interviewed by a magazine, and they're like, "So, Mr. Alexander, like, how how are you so fast? Is it like you, what's your diet look like? You know, what who are you coached by, and like what's a special trick to being so fast?" And I just replied, "I play tips every day." Like that was the way that I replied to the magazine, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I ended up going at a national level in sprinting, not training one day, and I had Kmart shoes on with holes in them, and I managed to beat roided people, like fucking sponsored people. I didn't even use the starting blocks, right? I didn't even use the starting blocks, and I was breaking records somehow. But afterwards, which was one of the sources of my depression, when I ended up fracturing my ankle and my patella, I tried to be like the same natural talented person, right? But I couldn't because I had an injury. So it mean that I had to work even harder. But I had the same mentality of, oh, I'm naturally gifted. I don't need to work hard for this anyway. But I was never the same after
Mm.
that, right? So like the moral of the story is, um, ever since that happened, I've been fucking super overcritical of myself, which included like my casting, and includes every single video that I make to this day. Like I can look at my video files right now, and I would have like 20 takes of one video just to me doing like an intro, and I fuck up one word. I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna redo it. Fuck this. I'm so overly critical of myself because I never want to be in that situation again. But yeah, that's maybe a story I can elaborate on a future video. But yeah, it's funny how like once you get kicked in the balls in life and it like fucks you up, that's when you start realizing it, man. Like
Yeah.
when you're in your lowest low, it's like, oh shit, I really need to start getting into gear. And you know what?
Yeah.
Like it hurts, but that's how you learn anyway. That's how you learn.
Yeah, man. So like I didn't learn that till until last year. Probably like, oh, end of 2017 and start, oh, yeah, like last year. When you realize, well, maybe I'm the problem.
Yep.
Maybe I'm the problem. And yeah, and as soon as you start focusing on you and you start fixing the problems that in your life, and you're not like blaming it on anybody else, that's when things start going better. Yeah, life's pretty decent now. So yeah, I fucking love playing games now. There's still the problem I still have, is going to like big social like gatherings. I still struggle with that.
Yeah,
I
same.
still don't really go to the meetups, like the Twitch meetups, all that sort of stuff. I still like that's a hurdle to get over. The tough one that I ended up going, I forced myself to go to was the Overwatch finals last year in Melbourne, the Melbourne Esports Open.
Hmm.
I was like, if I watch the game and I'll watch everybody else, everything will be okay because like it's kind of, if you accept it, it's gone now. Like it's, you've seen it there, you've seen like all the players. The hard thing is like going to the players and that, or like people in the community, they're like, oh, why you're not casting? Why did you stop? Or like, oh, like some people say like, oh, you're alive, you're not dead. I'm like, thanks, man. That's
That's a way
fucking
of
real
saying it.
nice, dude. And now, like I'd say, like see this, some people be like, "Oh man, I've seen you streaming now. I can see you in the front page." Like people come into the stream and say hello and all that sort of stuff. So, and it's gotten better. I guess people maybe just wondering where the fuck did I go? Because I was always so active for quite a while,
Yeah.
and then went to I never said anything because I never posted anything on social media. I never said anything to anybody really, other than a few people. So, um, I don't know. So, do you think you do? I know you're doing stuff with like the fighting, the FGC stuff, but I don't know. Are you going to do more like esports stuff again? Do you think you'd get into coaching or casting again? I know. I guess you're doing a little bit in the future. Do you think it'd
Um
be something you want to chase after, or is it something on the side and you're going to focus making your own content?
yeah, so I think content creation is going to be the primary like goal for me at the moment. Like it's already been like decent results. I think like I have been going through mainly the Apex and the Fighter Z community, like primarily on my YouTube channel in terms of like content.
Hmm.
I've created like tier lists of like the characters and how strong they are. I even had a pro comment on my Fighter Z tier list, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is like pretty accurate for someone, you know, who isn't like a pro." And that was on Reddit, which it made me feel really happy. Um, so yeah, just exploring like content creation for the most. I don't think esports is out of the question, just because I'm a person who comes from a sporting background and a
Hmm.
person who's played video games for their whole life, and mixing those two together for me just seems like a dream come true. I've always wanted to be in a live event. I've performed. Oh, I've hosted Overwatch at Smash last year, which was fun.
Hmm.
At SmashCon, it was my very first time, so I'm gonna be honest. I was like ridiculously nervous, and thanks for I forgot who gave me that opportunity. I believe Crucius gave me the opportunity, so thanks to Crucius. Yeah, so I ended up getting Smash. I was hosting the Overwatch thing there, which is very fun. And Zen Gaming gave me an opportunity 2 years ago. I was casting there, so those are like my two events with people there whilst I'm casting. And to be honest, like I don't feel this sort of anxiety when I'm in front of a bunch of people, but when it's in front of a small amount of people, that's when I feel it. Like just sort of, for example, if I were to go to a Twitch gathering, it'd be very nerve wracking for me. Just meeting a bunch of new people and like interacting. But
Mm,
if I'm on stage or if I'm performing, or if there's a huge crowd and I'm doing a speech, I don't give a shit. I feel absolutely nothing. Like because
yeah,
I used to do
same.
um, public speaking in high school, and I was doing like debating and stuff. And my teachers would always comment that I would have like a stone face, and I was very well at constructing my words and articulating things. And I didn't. I barely stuttered in high school because I was very confident in the way that I would talk. Um, I didn't transition to my casting actually. I wasn't as confident in casting because I would most of the time stumble on my words because I was trying to over sophisticate things and I wanted to be someone who I wasn't, which is
Mm.
probably one of the problems that I had. But yeah, like we're slowly building ourselves up, and it's just about getting up the grind. I used to play tennis, which is a one-on-one sport, so whenever I would fuck up, I could blame myself. The same with sprinting. I apply the same logic to what I'm doing now in content creation. It's all on me, and if I work hard, I can achieve the results. So that's what I think it's fun about it, you know.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I'm keen to see where you go. I'm keen to keep playing some more fucking Apex. That's what I'm definitely
Yeah,
keen on.
yeah, I'll probably do that
I'm
after
I'm
this,
I'm
too,
keen,
does.
I'm keen to get into more of the Smash community as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I
So
plan on doing some
tell
more of
the
that.
tell the people about your Nintendo community that you've currently been building.
Yeah, because I want to be like one of the main Nintendo content creators, at least one of the main Nintendo streamers on Twitch.
Mhm.
But the problem right now is there's fucking issues with
Servers.
the servers, and
Yeah.
they keep disconnecting, especially if you've got more people in there. So I host a full server of 8, and you do like rotate. The winner will stay on, and you rotate. The loser will go out, and you get a new person in. You do 1v1s, 3 stock standard, same as tournament rules,
Mhm.
same tournament map rotation as well. Put on random though, so that way we just keep playing different maps. And that's by far the most popular of all my streams, and they were doing really well. But since like 2.0 patch came out, now it's at 2.0.1. Ever since the Piranha Plant patch, for people that aren't as familiar with the numbers, that's what's fucked up. Like that's fucked up like the online lobbies. And I've tweeted at Nintendo. I've tried to get in contact with them, say like what's going on. Like it's so many other streamers having the same issue.
Mm.
I've seen on Reddit. I've seen all this sort of shit. Nothing's been fixed. So I'm lucky that Apex is around. I can have fun playing that, and like most majority of my core community enjoy that game, and they also enjoy Overwatch. I started getting back into that now. Like I'm
Away from.
Overwatch, and it's in the past.
Mhm.
Now I'm just focusing on having fun on it. I don't stream it that much. I play it more off stream, just with friends. But um, yeah, like I definitely love Nintendo. I stream like Splatoon and Mario Kart as well, but I want to get involved more in the Smash community because they've got a pretty good Smash community in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So I want to get involved in that because they run BAM in Melbourne, so it's all the big fighting tournaments usually happen in Melbourne.
Yep. I'm planning on
So I'm
going
in
to
the
BAM.
perfect
So
place.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool to
so
have that.
I definitely want to get more involved in the Smash side of things. So I've got some stuff in the works for that, but I just hope that the servers get fixed because that's been a fucking issue, and I want to get back to streaming Smash without any issues, so I can do that more often because that's one of the main bits of content that I do. But I am looking forward to like there's more. We just saw Pokemon Sword and Shield, but that's at the end of 2019.
Mhm.
But Mario Maker 2 is something that I'm got my eyes set on
Not too far
because that'll
away.
be a big community game, so play people's levels. So that's I think June or July this year. So
That'll
that's
be
why I want
fun.
to keep doing Nintendo, so you can keep those people around. You can keep pushing forward, and like the new Fire Emblem game, Animal Crossing. I got Yoshi next month, but Apex is kind of like the thing that's kind of just filling in and keeping active. Because what I used to do I used to just panic. I still do it sometimes now, but I do it less. Where I'd panic. I'm like, oh fuck, things aren't working out right now. Shit, like I don't know what to stream. I don't know what to do this. And that's when people stop.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep going, even if it's something that's not the ideal thing that you want to stream. As long as you stay active and you can talk to people and you people know what's going on and they understand or whatever, that core group that stick around, they're going to be able to carry you into whatever's next.
Hmm. And they're there
So
for you, like not the game that
yeah,
you play too.
yeah, because I know it's like my numbers are down from not playing Smash and not playing regular Nintendo, but it's okay because I'm still active. I still make a living from it. I still have all the people that are supportive of me. They might not stick around as much, but a lot of them still come in and say hey or whatever. Um, as long as you're still active. So I'm saying that's like anybody out there who's going through a shit time. Don't stop like streaming. If you're not having fun with the game that you got, or like something's going wrong, just stream anything. Just stream something. Just make sure you stay active.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you're not active, people are just going to move on to something else, and they're just going to wonder like where you are for a while, and then they'll just stop. So, and it's a lot harder to get started up again. So you just put the camera on, even if it's for like 2 to 3 hours. Try like at least 3 hours. Just do like at least something like that, and then just work your way back up and build your confidence back. But just stay active. So yeah, and don't sit there and fucking reading Instagram and fucking Twitter all day either. Fuck that shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's just a waste of time.
It is.
You
Yeah.
just see people arguing, and it's just like pointless shit. It's like people are just venting their frustration out on each other. It just doesn't solve anything.
No, it makes it worse.
Yeah. So make some funny shit if you want to like have your social media numbers go up. Maybe just post some funny shit, just some memes or whatever, just something, whatever. Not the same shit that like everybody else does. Just do something like unique.
Unique. Yeah.
You want to stand out on like social media, but even then, you know, you want to connect with people. You want to be like you, and then surround yourself with people that like you for who you are, and then you build off on that, and you start like a community of people that like each other. Because once you do that, the chances are they're going to keep coming back. You're going to keep having that same group of people because they become friends with each other and they want to hang out and use your stream as like the place to hang out.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what's happened to me. So, and then you'll connect that with other streamers, and then like everybody's like starts connecting, like it's like a big group.
network.
It's a community, yeah, it's a community platform, and people want to hang out. So that's why when I finish streaming or whatever, I still try to play games with other streamers. I'll go and look for like other Aussies that are playing whatever game. So I did that with Apex. I've met some other streamers now because I've just gone on and play. I'll go play Apex with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest that for other people. Don't like go into anyone who's new. Don't go into their fucking stream and just ask for like a shout out or ask for a fucking follow or ask for tips right then and there. Like you can ask for tips. It's not too bad, but I'd ask the mods first. Always ask like a streamer's mods if is it okay if I ask for some advice? Do that first before like you go ask any questions or fucking post your links or whatever. Like join their Discord, hang out in their stream, because if you get to know them and support them, people will in return probably support you back. So you just got to remember to be supportive of people, and then they will be supportive back. So I've learned that let's say the hard way, but on Twitch. But I've learned that like overall.
Yeah.
So yeah, for anyone that's new, because I even get that where people will come in and they will fucking post their own fucking streams and other shit, because they're just gonna get banned. Like my mods were just fucking straight up bam, like gone, that's gone. I don't see it half the time.
Yeah, that's fucking annoying, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
People do that on my YouTube videos as well. Like on YouTube, it happens so much. I have I have a bot that sorts it out.
So, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think people are actually going to click that?
It's annoying. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, he's so nice. He's linking his videos on the mine. Oh, I'm so lucky. Like, man, if he didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to see.
He's blessing me with content.
Oh, dude.
It's heavens above.
Right. Everyone thinks, hey, fuck off. Like,
yeah.
Everyone thinks that.
Yes.
There's no one. I don't think they've ever seen anyone go like, oh, man, thanks for linking your stream. Thanks for linking your video. I always say, like, I don't mind people linking me shit. I always say to them, hey, join my Discord and put it in the fucking YouTube section. I've got a section for people to link their own shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of streamers do. A lot of content creators do. They've got a section for other people to link their stuff. Because in the end, that brings more traffic to like their Discord, whatever. You're joining, that adds another person to their Discord or whatever.
Mhm.
So if anyone's had any problems with anyone's linking shit, I highly recommend to have, if you don't have a channel set up on your Discord for people to post their own stuff, do that. Because you should let other people promote their own shit, that's fine. But just have like a section on your Discord. It's number one, that doesn't get lost in the chat. Number two, that doesn't piss anyone off because they have the option whether to click it or not.
Yeah.
And make sure you turn off your at everyone so they don't fucking notify everybody.
Yeah. Otherwise, people will stop looking at the server overall. It's like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
another red notification.
Yeah, I've had my Discord muted for so long, like the actual app, so I never see any notifications. That's the thing I've always I hated. Like people complain about, they don't do it with mine, but I remember like back in the day, they complain like, oh, stop adding everyone or whatever. Like early on when I was using Discord, like in my own server, I'm like, dude, just leave my fucking server or whatever.
Yeah, it's my server.
But if you don't like people like doing notifications, just fucking turn it off.
It's simple as that, really.
Yeah. It's like people don't have to cater how they use the platform just for you.
Yeah.
You're that much of a little bitch. God damn. Anyway.
Fucking social media, dude. That's the story.
Yeah. We got anything else to talk about?
Nah.
How long have we been going for?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I think I haven't kept track actually. See, I thought it'd be great if, because I'm recording, but I have there's no like number in relation to how
Even
long
down
it's
the
been going.
bottom? Like, are you recording in OBS? So it has like how long it's been going
No,
for?
I'm using Streamlabs.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't
Yeah.
say shit.
No, it doesn't say shit, unfortunately. So,
What time? I don't even know what time it started.
well, I'd love to check Discord, but I'm in display capture mode at the moment.
Okay, wait, where do I check in Discord?
Just check where you called because we're in call for about 20 minutes.
Oh, I call. It's almost been 2 hours.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Close enough.
That's fine. Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're doing well.
we can.
I think it might be an hour and 40.
An hour and 40. That's fine. Or is there anything you want to close with then, Bobby?
Not really. I just want to continue. I want to give back to like everybody's given to me. I just want to let any of those people know they by chance listen to this. I never forgot about any person that's ever helped me. I'll promise I will return the favor. I will give back, and I want to continue pushing on, trying to be a better person because I didn't like who I was becoming, and I'm glad that I'm able to look back on 2018 and think that's the year I started turning things around, and I want to continue to do things as a positive person rather than have a negative impact on other people's lives. I'd rather push on. That's about it. Have fun with people.
There we go. Well, that's it. That's the very first episode wrapped up. So, yeah. Oh, what, you have something to say, Bobby? Yeah.
No, I'm just laughing. Just like,
round of applause.
Well, that's it. Like nothing.
Actually, no. I have something to add. I need to plug myself. No. Actually, no. I'll add into your comment. So yeah, thank you very much, Bobby, of course, for coming on the podcast. It's an absolute privilege. I've always wanted to go on your Bobby J podcast, and I did get there for one episode. So I thought I'd return the favor, and and invite you to my podcast a year down the track. And now we've both enjoyed each other on our platforms, and we've completed the circuit. I'll probably have you on another day because you are the Bobby J. You're my inaugural guest, and you're a great friend too. So, especially from the first segment of how entertaining we are talking about the ball shavers, people will probably be quite interested in that. So yeah, you'll be my.
I thought more like garbage next time.
Yeah, if it were garbage, Bobby J would be hanging around.
I felt like the first episode was to kind of like talk about where we're being at and all that sort of shit. Because because I never really gave any explanation. I don't know how many fucking people listen to that story. I don't know how many people actually give a shit, but like at least I wanted to say that. I guess.
It's out there. It's out there now.
Mm.
I believe we're gonna have this uploaded on SoundCloud too, so that'll be cool. We wanna
Should have mumble rapped for it.
mumble rap. Yeah, we'll put a beat over the whole podcast. Actually,
Yeah.
we'll have a 2 hour beat. Can someone sort that out for me, please? A 2 hour beat.
I'm sure there's plenty of like fucking up and coming producers now, dude, using Fruity Loops or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck they use.
Maybe Wiver can help me out there.
Mm.
He's pretty good at making beats, I've heard. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. Second episode should be out next week. I hope to bring out 1 episode a week so we can steadily pace it. I could probably release the next episode on Friday, but mate, you have to tease it. You have to tease it. So yeah,
Don't call Steve Austin. Let's go.
Stone Cold's coming. He's gonna break through your screen monitor. The intro will be playing, and it's gonna be a truly interactive experience. So yeah, take care, everyone. That has been Rally with Racquet episode 1 with Bobby J. See ya.